Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the recording for skills at the rate 100 where for 100 days we are bringing for you 100 different speakers from all over the country. The speaker is CA Yashwant from Hyderabad and the topic is RCM. All you wanted to know about RCM. More of him in the link in the description of this video. Also, this video is sponsored by Soulful Success Academy by Komal Potra, who is a passionate life and mindset coach. She has trained over 500 plus professionals and individuals who help achieve their full potential. More of them in the link in the description. So now, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Good evening, everyone. Hello to we we welcome you all to the 21st session of Skills at the Rate 100, where we are trying to bring for you 100 different speakers on 100 different skills from all over the country. Today's session is very special. We have a speaker from Hyderabad, uh, CA Yashwant, who is a partner at ANY and Company LLP, and who is very passionate about delivering strategic financial solutions. He has a diverse background in insolvency, valuation, audit, financial advisory, risk management, and secretarial practice. Also, he has previously contributed to ENY Global Delivery Services (EY GDS) in wealth and asset management. Hence, his skill set is very unique and covers a lot of things. So, thank you, CA Yashwant, for accepting our invitation, and we are excited to take it forward today. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Actually, it's my pleasure to be here and contributing for your 100 days or 100 skills at the rate of 100. Uh, Thank you so much for the invitation and looking forward for the session, actually. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming to before presenting my thing, like uh, here basically in the GST regime, I don't want to cover. I will be sticking only up to the reverse charge. So majority of the daily things we'll be seeing in the GST is on the forward charge. That is the basic, like our supplier will be collecting the GST and he will be remitting to the department. But what special, what reverse charge makes special is here the supplier will not discharge his the GST liability. The recipient will be discharging the liability. So just I'm presenting the thing. Uh, so yeah. So the default principle in the GST regime is the supplier will be discharging the tax liability. But here in the reverse charge mechanism, which is under section 9, subsection 3 and 9, subsection 4 of the CGST Act, where there are some special cases where the recipient will be discharging the liability. I have just given the illustration. I will just sharing this my PDF to you so that you can circulate in the group. So as we have the time constraint, I will be skipping the illustration and let's make to the key distinctions between the forward charge and the reverse charge. So you can see the tax liabilities on the supplier and the forward charge, which will be seeing on the regular basis in the transactions. And on the reverse charge, it is on the recipient. And in the tax payment, the supplier will cut from the recipient. In the reverse charge, the recipient will pay directly to the government. The supplier don't have any liability to collect the tax and remitting to the government. So ITC, regarding the ITC, in the both cases, it's the same except blocked credits. The recipient can claim the input tax credit and with satisfaction of the other conditions. So the matter is clear about the registered persons who are the registered, they can discharge the reverse charge liability. But what about if the same service has been given to the unregistered supplier? For this, after section 24 of the CGST Act, the person who is receiving the supplies under the reverse charge, they need to be he should be registered mandatory under the GST. Here, this is the specific point or the important point we should make note it down regarding the applicability of the registration also, so that we can have the better consulting to our client. So whether his expenditure is on the reverse, whether he's taking any supplies on the reverse charge, if he has the expenses or if he's taking the supplies under the reverse charge, then he should be mandatorily registered. This is one of the major point on the overall basis. So categorically, we can divide the two the supplies. One is supply of goods and another one is supply of services. In the both cases, the reverse charge has been covered. but majority of the supplies under reverse charge are in the services only. In the goods, there are only some, approximately only 10 goods has been covered under the reverse charge. Let's dive into it. So these are the provisions. And see, I have actually, as per the notification, these has been covered under the not on a systematic basis. I have here in this PDF, I have converted them into the systematic basis. If you see the first five things, cashew nuts and BD wrapper, tobacco, raw cotton, silk yarn, these are all the basic upon the agriculture products where the recipient is a registered person. If it is not registered, then those are not covered. Only the recipient, if the recipient of the supply is the registered person, then he has to discharge under the reverse charge basis. You can see these five products are the not basic agriculture products. These are called cash crops. Uh, if you can see cashew nuts, BD wrapper, tobacco, raw cotton, these are all the cash crops we can segregate. So these are all covered under the reverse charge mechanism. And another net set of points, the number 6 and number 7, we can see this is the supply of lottery and used vehicles. Here the supplier is the government. So if the government is supplying the lottery, then it is has to be taxed under the reverse charge. But if the supplier is the only the you or me or any other registered person other than government, then that is covered under the forward charge only. And number 7, we can see also used vehicles, or we can see the auctions in the government where they'll be selling the used vehicles and other confiscated goods. Uh, there also it is taxed on the reverse charge. If any person has been, if any registered person has been purchasing the products, then he has to discharge the liability under reverse charge. There is one concept why these goods have been thought it under the reverse charge, because in majority of the cases where the government has been selling these confiscated goods and auctioning the goods, the most of the thing the government will not having any registration for them, and if they want to take the registration also, there is so much process and it is very difficult to the government to get registered and discharge the tax liability. So here the government has made to add the recipient to cover these goods under the reverse charge. So we have got this point. And number 8, number 10, number 8, number 9, number 10. These are all the where the suppliers are the unregistered person. So one thing is the eighth point is oils, and second one is metal scrap and priority lending certificates. Where the sorry 8 and 9 only regarding the unregistered person. Where the oils and the some oils we have mentioned water mint oil, peppermint oil, and etc. And metal scrap where a registered person is purchasing under the from the unregistered person, then he has to discharge the liability under the reverse charge. And last one, but not the least, priority sector lending certificate, where here the transaction is between the both registered persons only. Uh, what is meant by priority lending certificate? Like as per the Banking Regulation Act and the government rules, some specific a specific percentage of the loans has to be sanctioned to the priority sector like agriculture sector. So all the banks may not have covered that their percentage. So what they can do is they can purchase these type of certificates from another banks where they have exceeded their priority lendings. For example, like HDFC, for example, 20% is the limit out of the total um, advances they have to sanction to the agriculture. But HDFC Bank only covered the only 15% out of the 20%. So there is a gap between, so there is a gap for lending. The 5% there is a gap. On the other side, SBI has lent some 30 to 40% of their total advances to the agriculture sector. Then SBI can sell their uh, kind of share for the compliance purpose. That is called priority lending certificate. So if the SBI has been selling, then HDFC has been marked as compliant as they have purchased on the SBI. So overall, it has been covered. And here, like HDFC Bank has to, as the SBI is selling, HDFC Bank has to clear clear the tax as per the uh, reverse charge mechanism. I have given the notes. What are the things for the purchase of goods? So here we have covered the purchase of goods. So I have given the notes, all the things, how we can uh, how it will uh, run. So the most important in the reverse charges and the majority of the thing in the reverse charge mechanism is covered in supply of services. So here I will be covering only the main points where in the practical scenarios or in our day-to-day basis on which type of goods or which type of expenses we have been covering. So which is very helpful for us so that we'll be not in a non-compliant as per the GST provisions which is under the reverse charge. So the first one is goods transport agency. Like many of our clients may be transporting their goods from one place to another and using these transport services. So if there is a supply of service, the goods transport and the see, we can see the recipient of the service, any factory, any society, like he has easily said, like any registered person or any person. If the government make like any person, then each and even if a end-to-end customer who is availing the service of goods transport agency, he has to be registered. Then every person in the India has to be registered. Or if any person who has been like any registered person, if they kept as a recipient of the service, then the remaining person who is not registered, like a factory or any other person where the government wants to be covered, then those person can't be covered, right? So the government has specified some specific range of recipients where they should have to be registered. If they have not registered, and they have to be discharged the liability. So any factory, any society, any cooperative or any partnership, any body corporate, any casual taxable person. So these are all the specified recipients we can classify. So here these people are covered, and there is one exception. Like if they have been, if the GTA has giving providing services to the Department of Government, local authority, government agencies where they have taken only registration to for the purpose of deducting the tax TDS under GST. Here, uh, it is not covered. Like those are not what I can say. People are not applicable. So we got a doubt. Like in the previous thing, I have said like who are receiving the services under under the reverse charge. They has to be registered, but here they are taking the services and they are not registered. So here, as per the entry 21B of notification number 17 by 2017, these services to the government has been exempt by the government. By the GST authority. So there is no problem in taking the. There is no conflict of the act. And like I will just narrate a small story within 2 minutes. Like for the GTA, we have two options. One is 5% under the reverse charge or 12% on the forward charge. They can opt any either of the things. So why the government has given the two options for the especially for the GTA? Let's get back to the service charge thing where the before 2017 there is a tax called service tax. So the government has about to introduce the tax on these goods transport agencies on a forward charge. But when the government has announced the service tax on the goods transport agencies all over India, the these lorry services or goods transport services has been abolished by the things. By the owners of the goods transport agencies. So the government has nothing to do. So it has withdrawn at the time, and again it has implemented on the base of the reverse charge mechanism, where the government has said to the goods transport agencies, you don't discharge any tax liability or you don't collect any tax liability. The recipient will have the he has only the liability to discharge the tax. So then, so this is how the goods transport agencies has been included in the this thing. And we have two things. One is 5% without ITC and 12% with ITC. So if they want to discharge the tax liability on a forward charge mechanism, they can discharge by opting to the 12%. And if they don't want to be registered and they don't want to be covered in the GST, then without ITC, they can opt for 5%, where the recipient will be discharging the tax liability. I have also given the difference between GTA and regular courier services in the PDF. I'll be sharing with you. And second important most thing where majority of our clients is dealing with lawyers, advocate firms. So the individual advocate or advocate firms where those are all the cover under the reverse charge mechanism. So here the recipient will be the any business entity. There is nothing like that. Uh, uh, only company or only a partnership firm or only cooperative society, any business entity who are located in the taxable territory, they has to be complied and they has to discharge the tax liability. Here, regarding the tax, I will come to the last thing where we will face the practical issues and arbitral tribunal. Here also the any business entity if they are availing the arbitral tribunal arbitration process, then they have to discharge the liability because the arbitrator don't have the registration of the majority of the time they will be not covering under the uh, arbitration services. And third one is sorry, fourth one is the sponsorship to any body corporate or firm. Here the our majority of the clients won't be under these categories, so I'm just skipping this. And services supplied by the central government to the business entity excluding so any services excluding renting of immovable property and department of post and transportation by the central government of state any government to the any business entity, so that is covered under the reverse charge mechanism. And here the sovereign functions of the government will not be covered like defense and all. So here the because on that the tag on that the GST is not applicable as per the act of the GST. So these are only services basically provided by the government except sovereign functions, you can say. Next one, the most important, my favorite is 5AA, 5AB, 5B, 5. These are the recently amended from 1st October 2024 by the government of India, I mean by the GST department, where majority, I mean 99% of our clients are will be covered under this, or we may be covering under this section because we may be taking out the rent from a landowner or I mean premises owner, where majority of them are if they are registered on the GST and they will be collecting the tax from us. But what if they are not registered? Here the government, I mean the GST department has thought very skillfully and they have included all the persons who are into the unregistered person service by way of renting of residential dwelling to a registered person. If you are a registered person and if you are charging the rent to your P&L, so you have to what I can say discharge the liability by the reverse charge basis. And even if services by way of immobile property other than residential dwelling, okay, fine. First one is they have covered the residential dwelling. Second one is if there is any unregistered person, it is not a residential dwelling, it is a commercial dwelling, but it is not registered. Then you have to discharge the tax liability. Here, the government wants to make optimum use of the tax because everyone will be majority of the business will be on the rent or lease, etc. So if your owner has been collecting the tax, then there will be no issue. But if your owner is not collecting tax and you are charging the rent to your P&L, then definitely you have to register your. I mean, you have to register the tax liability under the reverse charge mechanism. Due to this notification, the majority of the people who are affected by this is restaurant owners because they don't have their ITC is blocked, so they don't have I mean that privilege to take the ITC. Those are the most affected person I can say.
So I have one doubt in between if you want.
Yeah, please, please,
So
please.
as you said, the restaurants are not able to claim. So now they will pay reverse charge if their
Yes, yes,
landlord is not registered.
yes, yes.
So then also they will not get the credit.
No, no, no. Because the input tax rate on the restaurants has been blocked actually.
That is a direct
Every
loss
each
to
and
them.
every. Yes, yes, it is the last to
Oh
them.
my
That's
God.
what I'm saying. Like those are the most
Yeah.
affected person. But in this, there is another, like what I can say is relief given by the government.
Hmm.
Like if you are a composite taxable person, then these two are not applicable to you. Means you don't have to be discharge the tax liability under the reverse charge. But majority of the restaurant owners are on the not composite, because they, if they are composite means they have to put the those 5% from their pockets to the government. So majority of them, even if they're registered, I mean if they're regular or if they're composite, there is no difference for them, for the restaurant owners. So they will be definitely under the regular only, and it is the huge backlash to them.
Sir, I also have a doubt.
Yes.
Sir, in 5AA, sir,
Hmm.
it is written any person. So in any
Yes.
person, suppose if I am a registered person
Correct.
and I have a house and a
Hmm.
part of my house I have given on rent, then
Hmm.
so what will happen in this one?
See, one
I
thing is like
do
for
do I
the
need to show
register,
in my GSTR one?
one thing like it is under the, if you are renting your residential dwelling, it is comes under the exempt supplies under the GST. If you're only, if you're renting out the commercial supplies, then it is comes under the like taxable supply. As it is the residential dwelling, I mean
Okay,
it is
residential
exempt supply. So you have to show in the exempted supplies, not under the regular supplies. I think table 6A, if I'm not wrong, but I'm not wrong. There is supply, I mean, there will be supply column in the GSTR one, residential nil, sorry, exempted nil, and another supply will be there. So, yeah, in that box, you can mention them
Okay.
with respect to returns. As it is a exempted supply, I mean, even the person has been registered, he will be not able to collect the GST.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
I hope I have cleared your doubt.
Yes, 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 definitely.
Yeah. So next one is TDR. Like any promoter, I mean, you know what is mean by TDR? Like if I have a land and if someone is coming to develop the project, and I'll be giving the rights to him for the development rights. So any person, if I'm transferring my rights, the promoter has to be discharge the liability. I mean, the promoter means here the construction company basically. So they have to be registered, or if they're not registered, then they have to register and they have to discharge the liability. And long-term lease in any person, uh, same. Like this is the majority of the point with respect to private limited company. Services supplied by the director of a company to said company or the body corporate. Like for example, there is a company called ABC Private Limited Company where there are some directors. So if any person, if the director has been supplying, I mean, has taken the remuneration under 94J, then the company has to discharge the tax liability under the reverse charge. But for example, in the, if the ABC company is a hospital and director is a, I mean, good surgeon or like that, here the director has conducted some operation and he has charges some fees for the operation from the company. Here, that is not covered under the director services. It is covered under the provision services. If the doctor is uh, sorry, the doctor is a professional, so he, if he has the registration, he will directly discharge as the what I can say, on the forward charge basis. Here I have given the illustration. Let's read that so that for the better clarity. So here the supplies of the position of the, in the position of the directors only, it is covered under the reverse charge. If he is taking some sitting fee for the board of directors meeting or directors meeting, then it is as he is sitting in the meeting as a director, he is providing service in the capacity of the director. It is covered where company has to discharge the tax liability. If the director is providing services on a professional or in his individual capacity as a professional, then it is not covered. I mean, he will discharge the tax liability based upon the provision. And one more thing, Like if the remuneration is covered under section 192 as per the Income Tax Act as a salary, then in that case also it is not covered. Only in the case of 194J, in the capacity of the director, the reverse charge is covered. See. Oh, and the manner where TDS is not covered under the reverse charge. Illustration: the director attend the board meeting and charge sitting fees, then reverse charge is applicable. If the director come doctor charges the company for the operation is for the patient, then the reverse charge is not applicable because here he has provided the services in the uh, as he is a professional as a doctor. Any doubts for anyone regarding this point
Sir,
6?
sir, I have a doubt. So, like
Yeah.
in one of my cases, a director was paid 3 lakh rupees managerial remuneration,
Okay.
normal remuneration. So, in that case, TDS was not applicable under section 192. So,
Yes. Yes.
what should I do in that case?
See,
Should
then in that case, where you are showing that expense as a like a salary expense or which type of see major in recent times, what I have heard or what practical scenario is coming is even the managerial remuneration is going under the 192 as a salary basis, but department is coming and when issuing the notice for not what I can say, not discharging the tax liability, but where in the income tax return or in income tax or in the financials, there is a section called employee benefit expenses. In that, if you are able to show, then it is fine. Like then the reverse charge is not applicable.
Okay, madam, I have to disclose it somewhere that
Yes,
I have
yeah,
paid it as a managerial remuneration
yes.
as an
On
employee
a
of the
one,
company.
yes, correct. And
Okay.
like even if what I can say is practically if you issue a form 16 to the director as a salaried employee or
Yes,
as a
yes.
remuneration under section 192, then that is much beneficial to come over from the notices from the GST department.
Even that the amount is zero in that.
Yeah, I mean, not zero. If it is zero, then there will be no issues, right? If you're paying
The
in the
tax amount
current
is zero.
financial year, yeah. Even if the tax amount is zero, then if you're issuing a Form 16 with, then we have a strong evidence like that is not a remuneration on a contract basis. It is as per our employee-employer relationship type.
Sir, one more question related to this one.
Yes, please. Yes,
Like
yes, yes.
if that same director is also a director in a different company, so
Hmm.
this will still be applicable. Like in from both the companies, he is taking an employment.
Yes. Same.
No issue. No?
Because
Thank you.
a person can be employed in two
More
companies,
than
right?
one
Yeah,
organization. Okay, sir.
I got
Thank you.
some questions in the. Can we get this? Yes, Mudlika. Yes, I'll be sharing with you. Uh, yeah, I'll be posting here. Just a second.
Yeah, one doubt is there in the group. Sorry, in
Yeah,
the chats,
I'm just showing. I'm just seeing.
whether RCM payable on rent. Did you get it?
I'm just checking it actually. 1 second. Whether RCM on rent for shop paid by the registered dealing including in exempted goods to an underserved person. See, one thing like Praveen sir, if he's exclusively dealing in the exempted goods, then he's not liable to take the GST registration as per the provision. I mean, even if his turnover is more than 100 crores, only if he's dealing in the exempted goods, then he's not liable to take the registration. I mean, GST registration. And here you can see like the recipient is any registered person, not any person. So if you are only the registered person, then this provision will be applicable for you. If you are not a registered person, if you are only exclusively dealing in the exempted supplies, then the registration is not at all applicable for you, and I mean, you will be not paying the GST. But if you are only exclusively in the exempted supplies, and if you are registered, then you have to discharge the liability as per the provisions. Like then the input also not eligible for you; it is loss for you. Some types of PSLs. Yeah. Like, yeah, for public, I mean, yeah, fine. Uh, I think the best way to appoint the director as the executive director or whole-time director, whatever by we call, that will be the best way to escape from the, I mean, notices. Are there any doubts until now? So I
Yes,
check back
anyone
to you
has
for
any more doubts?
please you can ping in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and you can.
I think I think we can move forward.
I assume yeah we can move forward. Yeah. So with respect to point 7 and point 8, we can combinedly cover these things because here both are the agents, insurance agent and recovery agent. Insurance agent is related to the insurance company and recovery agent is related to the banking company. Uh, Here the government has introduced these sections because there are n number of recovery agents and n number of insurance agents for them. And majority of them will be not crossing the 20 lakhs turnover limit as prescribed by the government. So it has shifted the liability to the insurance companies and banking companies so that the government will not miss the tax revenue. And number 9, uh,
One
supply
second.
of service of them. Yeah.
Yeah, like suppose I am LIC, suppose LIC company. So any amount I am paying to the my agents,
Hmm.
all amount I will pay reverse charge.
Yes.
Oh,
Even single penny.
like salary or everything.
No, like I think insurance agents, see, first
Oh,
point,
contract basis, not
salaries,
salary. Right,
yeah,
right, right, right.
like
Got it.
commission basis, you will be
Yes, yes,
paying on the
yes, yes.
commission, right, for
Salary
the
to exam.
agents.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that will be covered. If it is salary, then it is not covered under the
Yeah, yeah,
GST
yeah.
at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one is point number 9, supply by service by the music composer, photographer, artist. This is related to the film industry. I'll give you a basic example. Here I have been given by with respect to Tollywood. I'll just come to the Bollywood because all the people will be associated. For example, we have a singer called Arjit Singh, the most famous singer. If he's composing a song or if he's composing a music to any of the, for example, Extras Films, whereas it is a production company. So here the production company will have the liability to discharge. But if the same person, if the same Arjit Singh has been uh, have had a concert at any stadium, like recently as in the Ahmedabad Stadium, I think, if I'm all Kolkata, yeah. So there he will be charging discharging the tax liability under the forward charge. Only if that person, music composer or photographer or artist, even the heroes like Hrithik Roshan and Amir Khan, etc., etc. If they're providing the services to any production company, then it is under the reverse charge, and that production company should discharge the tax liability by under the reverse charge. If they are providing services to any other company or any other event organizers, then it is like on under the forward charge they have to discharge the tax liability. And under section 9A, it is by way of author, I'm giving the rights to some book publishing company. If I have wrote a book, then the publisher has to discharge the tax liability on my name. I mean, that is not a forward charge, that is under reverse charge. Next, this RBI, I think that is a big subject and that is not, I mean, majority of us won't be dealing, so I'm just skipping over it. And same direct selling agents with respect to other than body corporates, LLPs, especially this is individual direct selling agents, same like the insurance company and uh, insurance agents and recovery agents. If they are uh, providing services to any banking company, then like it is under the Western mechanism. If they are body corporate or partnership, like any other form other than individual, then those has to under the forward charge mechanism they have to what I can say discharge the tax liability. Next, these business facilitators and business correspondents I'm skipping because that is also vast area because I need to make you know what is business facilitator and business correspondent. So I'm just skipping now because and it is not I mean, what I can say will be not majorly will not be dealing with those type of clients. So and 14th one, this is also the most important with respect to security services like security agencies. Uh, any other person, like majority of the security service under the society or I mean association or under the individual names. If it is discharging under the body corporate, then reverse charge is not applicable. The forward charge is applicable. Uh, like if you are availing any security services from any individual, also you have to what I can say, discharge the tax liability under the reverse charge mechanism only, except for the government, local authorities, and registered person paying on tax under the composition scheme. Here also, government gave benefit to the composition taxpayers, like you don't have to discharge any tax liability with respect to security personnel. And with respect to section 15, services by way of renting of any motor vehicle designed to carry passengers. So here also, like same like a GTA, here also he has the two type of things, like he has these renting of any motor vehicle, not renting of passengers, not giving the cab services kind of things, renting of motor vehicles, here it is covered. Like if you are uh, want the ITC, then you have to 12% on the forward charge. And if you don't want ITC, like you don't want a burden of discharging the tax liability, then 5% the reverse charge. I have given the table here. See, you can see the person liable to pay under whether GST is 12%. If he is opting for the 12%, then directly forward charge. Like here also it is individual other than a body corporate. So whether if he is a corporate, then directly forward charge 12%. If he is not a body corporate, other than body corporate, if he is opting for the reversal, then 5%. It will be on shifted to the recipient. If he is opted for the 12%, then he can go to the forward charge. And like here, it is a transportation of vehicle, renting of vehicle, not transportation of passengers. There will be two types. Like if I'm renting my vehicle to a company to transport their employees, I'm renting my vehicle to the company. So here this concept is applicable. If I am the cab owner and I'm going to the company and I'm giving the services to the company as a cab owner, then this concept is not at all applicable. This is only with respect to the renting of the vehicle. I hope you got it. See, I have given the illustration. Company has taken the buses on the rent for transportation of its employees from pickup point to office. In this transaction, the above scenario is applicable. Company has given a contract to Uber or any of the individual for the transportation of its employees. Here it is taking the rent, and the vehicle and the driver is in the hands of the company, not under that supplier. And here directly the whole supplier with driver and with vehicle, the vehicle is in the control with respect to that person. So here that point is not applicable. I hope I have not confused you.
Okay. Anyone has any doubts still here? These things is very very confusing actually.
Yeah, I'll just give an illustration. See, I have 10 buses on my name. I have purchased the 10 buses. Fine. So I have given these 10 buses to a company called Infosys for transportation of their employees. Here I have an option, like I can have the tax under the forward charge 12% for the rent. As I'm giving the buses to the Infosys company, I'll be charging some rent for them, right? So here I have two options. The 5% without taking ITC on those buses, I can rent to them. That 5% will be to the Infosys company. They will be discharging under the reverse charge. No, I want to take that input. So I will be opting this 12% option, and I'll be charging the GST from the Infosys company. This is with respect to only the renting of my buses to the company. I hope you got this point.
Yes.
Yeah. Another point why I have said is, like I have a car with me, and there will be some apps where I can directly provide services to their employees. Like I'm not getting the app name, but yeah, or else I have directly entered agreement with the company called Infosys. Like for the morning, I'll be picking up the I only. I am the driver, and I have my own car, and I have the full control, or I have the employees. I have the full right on the car. I will be only serving morning. I'll be picking up the employee from one point to your company, and at the evening I will be dropping your employee to that points. Here I'm not renting my car. I'm giving the service to you. These scenarios are not at all applicable. The tax will be discharged on the forward charge only. I hope you got it. The
Yeah.
difference between two things, what I have said.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Some questions. Yeah, arithmetic.
Mm.
Next one. Yeah, 16 also. With respect to SEBI, I'll be also this thing also I'll be skipping because that is a very complicated thing. And 17th, any services supplied by any person who is located, like importation of services. If you are importing any type of services from non-taxable territory, then you have to pay the tax and the reverse charge, and you have to avail the input if you are thing. So this is the whole scenario with respect to the reverse charge under the GST. Uh, and there are some questions from my side. I will be answering for them because those are all the very practical issues under the GST. Yeah, I have framed on myself whole 5 questions for comfort purpose. Are you paying the reverse on the GST on your inward supply, which are liable to pay on reverse? Like for especially for your clients, you need to check whether these are all the transactions have been. I mean, if you are paying any, because majority of the times these suppliers are under not registered, so they may be not what I can say reflecting on your GST 3B. If they are registered, and it may be directly reflecting in your 3B, but if they are not registered, those may be not reflecting under your 3B, and you need to take utmost care such that those transactions is covered in your GST return for not not complicating in the further things. What if you're not paying under the reverse charge? This is the major question, because majority of the time the clients will not go for the regular accounting services. All the entries and all the transactions will be accounted at the year end after the March. So if what if you're not paying? You have to discharge the liability with 18% of interest. So next one, how department can know that you have inward supplies which are yeah, this is the major question, right? Like, okay, I'm getting some legal services or I'm getting some GTA services. How department will know if the GSTR one filed by, if that person has been registered, and only if he has filed the return marked as charge on the GST, then department will know. If he is not at all what again not registered, how department will know I have availed the services? Because he will know how, I will say you. Because the GST is based upon your PAN based thing. If you will be filing your income tax return and you will be filing your financial with the MCA, where you will be having all your set of expenses like legal expenses, transport expenses, etc., blah blah blah. You will be charging. For example, legal expenses you will be charging some 1 lakh rupees. Department will cross check for that financial year whether you have paid any uh, reverse charge for that 1 lakh rupees. That means 18,000 rupees. If you have paid any tax under the reverse charge, if you have not paid, then department will directly issue a notice like as per the income tax return you have made the expenditure of 1 lakh rupees under the legal services, but you have not paid the tax, then kindly remit the tax along with the 18% interest. This is the mechanism following by the department till now, and they will be following for sure. And most probably they will be integrating the AI into these things also for faster notices and faster recovery of tax.
Like I would like to add something. Like normally also nowadays in audit and all everything they are asking balance sheet and PL everything.
Correct.
So
Correct.
our company where I am working, they are looking at suppose legal expenses 1 lakh. Directly they
Hmm.
will say that you have not paid. Suppose it was
No,
not
no, like
exempted or this, we have to give the explanation that it was not applicable or we have paid this much.
correct. Correct.
Like this breakup,
Correct.
we have to give that
See,
on
one
which part we
thing,
have not
like,
paid and why.
yeah, correct, definitely. Because department will throw a stone on you and you have to explain those things.
Yes.
And one majority of the things, for example, I said the legal service. Even if you're only, Here, another thing will also be there, like if you have not registered under the GST. I will go to the PDF. 3.2. See, any business entity located in the taxable territory, even if you're not registered, if you're claiming the legal expenditure in your income tax return, then department will come and say why you have not registered and discharge the tax liability. Register and discharge the tax liability along with the interest. These kind of things will be there. I mean, until now, the department has not focused that much. Concentratedly. But soon, very very soon, maybe within 1 year or very soon, the department will be concentrating and the registrations will all be increasing like anything. And one more thing, is there any issues on ITC if we discharging the liability on reverse charge very lately? For example, financial 2024-25, the year has been completed and the department will have approximately 4 years of time to issue the notice under the GST. So, for example, if they have issued the notice in next year, March or June, anything, 2026, they have issued the notice, like you have to discharge the GST liability along with the interest. At that point of time, you have to discharge the liability one thing on the 1 lakh. In this example, on the 1 lakh, you have to discharge the 18% along with the interest. And here, even if you are a regular supplier, you'll be not having the option to avail the ITC because as per the provision, the last date for availing ITC is filing of September month return or annual return, whichever is earlier. I mean, October 20 of following financial year or the annual return, whichever is earlier. At that time, your October return, your September month GST return has been completed and you will be paying the GST in the next year. You will be not able to avail the ITC. You will be like, that is a huge loss for you. ITC will be gone, tax will be gone, and additionally you have to pay the interest.
Yeah, one doubt
Next
in chats
point.
also.
Yep.
Please see
Yeah.
in chats.
But how do I know to know what expense option instead of restrict we provide them in reply to the okay. No, okay, fine.
They will ask for the documents, I think.
They will not spot the documents, right? See, if they are spotting the document, see, for
Yes.
example, the league with respect to legal thing only, I'm saying, uh, even if you're registered or not registered, the legal firm is registered or not, they will not bother. That is, as per provisions, you have to definitely directly discharge the liability, or else he will compare the expenditure. And recently, the HSN codes have been mandatory for everything, and your supplies will be tracked with respect to HSN codes. And for the expenditure you claimed as per your income tax return, there will be matched with the GST component, how much tax you have paid on that HSN code and all. With these tactics and all, or they'll directly throw a notice to you to have the, what I can say, clarity. Clarity, or if you want to, then we have to issue the clarity to them, like those are not applicable and all. And the department, how the department behaves.
Yeah, I want to add one thing because it happened with us. Suppose
Hmm.
we have taxable supplies. So there was some other income in our books. So department is
Hmm.
directly telling that you give a 5% because our are 5% item. So they directly
Okay.
give the notice that on other income 5% is liable. Right? We have not paid.
Yes.
Then when we suppose 2 years back it was. Then when we are
Hmm.
going back and looking at the accounts, other income was for interest income. So like a
Correct.
potential deposit or
See,
something.
here, what we have to do is, see, with respect to GST, even your bank interest is a supply, but it is an exempt supply. So in the annual return, you have to mention it as an exempted supply, because every month you can't, or if you having your bank statement every month, then you can directly put into the exempt supply, so that there will be no other issues from the department. And as you said, you have received the notice, then we have to give the bank statement to them. Arey babu, this is not a regular supply, this is a bank interest of the department. And last point, what precautions to be taken to comply with the provisions of the reverse charge? So what I can say is, You have to maintain a monthly accounting process for your clients who are registered on the GST, so that every month, if you are making the accounting complaints for them, in there you will be having like you will be get to know what are the purchases or what are the things they have made uh, with respect to that month, so that your interest cost will be saved at least, and you will be having some good reputation with the clients. And yeah, you will be on complaint basis, and even in the future department comes to you to with respect to any clarity also, you can say like we have already discharged the liability on a monthly basis, and we have cleared all the tax liabilities. And yeah, this is all from my side. If anyone have doubts, kindly I'll be most happy to take up the doubts.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Already taken so much. Yes, please.
Uh, Sir, one of my client, he is dealing in coal.
Okay.
So, and he also has a truck.
Hmm.
So, sometimes he uses the truck for transporting his
GTA.
own, transporting his own coal that he is selling.
Hmm.
Sometimes he uses the truck for transportation of other
GTA.
people's as a GTA. So
Okay.
now,
Okay.
sir, he on on like in the general market, he is of the opinion from the market after consulting people, his colleagues in the market, like transport on the transport part, he doesn't have to pay any tax.
See,
So he
the
wants to discharge RCM, show
no,
his
no. See, he is the supplier, right?
hmm.
Who from for whom he is the supplying the product, they have to discharge the tax liability if he has taken the option of 5% without ITC. If he has taken an option of 12% with ITC, then he has to discharge the liability.
No, sir. Only one GST number he has,
Yes, correct.
and in
Okay,
one
fine.
GST number he is also selling coal. So when
Right,
he's selling
right.
coal, he's using forward charge, and in
Yes, correct.
that GST number only can he give outward supplies under reverse charge.
Yes, see one thing. Uh, for one GST number, we can have multiple products or multiple services we can provide, right?
Yes, 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 yes,
So here he has two products. One is selling of coal, and another one is GTA services.
yes, yes,
For
yes.
selling of coal outright, it is a forward charge. There is
Hmm.
nothing concept called reverse charge in the
Hmm.
supply of coal. With respect to this GTA, he in the when he is registering or there is an option, he has to choose between like uh, he whether he has to have a 5% with IT without ITC or 12% with ITC. If he has taken the option called with the 12% with ITC and 12%, then the tax liability on his part. If he has chosen to 5% without ITC, then under the reverse charge, the recipient will be the what I can say.
Taxes.
Yeah, the recipient will discharge the tax liability. And here one more thing with respect to ITC, I want to say the point, because I think your point with respect to ITC, right?
No, my point is regarding the outward liability.
Yeah, outward liability. Yeah, as I said, if he without ITC 5%, then recipient has to discharge the tax liability. With
No, no,
ITC
no.
12%, then
He
he has to
zero
discharge the
percent.
tax liability.
He wants to charge 0% on his outward supplies
Yeah,
for
one thing.
transportation.
Then see, as per the notification, here also have mentioned clearly. Yeah, one second. Yeah, if he's supplying these services to the only end customer other than these people, like if he's if he's B2C, if he is doing B2C, then it is exempted to him.
Oh, this is exempt to him.
Yes, yes. If he is doing the B2C,
Okay,
B2C,
and
direct to
B2B.
the individual. If it is, yeah, with respect to B2B, then 5%, 12% will comes into the picture.
Okay, no 0% on outward supplies
No,
then.
no, no exempted, no exempted. With respect to B2B, no exempt. With respect to B2C, it is exempted.
Okay.
Okay, I
And that
think
is
you have
the
got it.
recipient liability, right?
No, yeah, with respect to 5% recipient liability, if he has opted for 12%, then it is his liability.
But he wants to opt for 0%. Like in when he's giving the outward supply of GTA.
Then in your portal, in your registration, there will be an option like if normally at the point of registering for the first time, it will ask the options. Then now also you can go to the that thing and you can opt for the same like 5% without ITC.
Okay, matlab, in one GST number you can opt for both
Multiple,
RCM and for FCM.
No. See, one thing, the format is for coal. That is totally different.
No.
SSs are different, right?
So this one is a little confusing for me.
See, one thing.
And I've been trying to get
Yeah.
it from a long time.
Just a clarity I'm giving. In the portal, there will be only one option for GTA. Whether you can opt for 5% without ITC, 12% with ITC. You got it? Right. If
Yes.
he is supplying to a business and if he has opted for 5% without ITC, then it is charged under the reverse charge. It is under the recipient. Then, as in your case, you said like he wants zero tax liability, right? To his
Yes.
to his business. So ask him, or if you have his login details, go to the his login and opt for the 5% without ITC.
Okay, so now he will not be able to will not be required to pay any tax liability. Outward supply
No. Yeah,
outward
correct.
tax will be zero. But it's the
Correct.
same GST number. He will be able to use that outward supply of coal.
Yes,
Same
because
GST number.
in the HSN codes, in the login only, in the HSN codes, you mention both the HSN codes, one GT HSN code and coal HSN code.
Okay, so whenever his outward supply will be transportation, no outward tax.
Then there will be
only
no outward tax.
Okay. So
In
so
respect to
basically,
coal, he will have the outward
So
tax.
1 minute. Basically, what I understood from the problem and solution, so question was that simple, that under the same registration, can I take reverse charge also and forward charge also? Forward
Yes.
charge for
Yes.
my coal and reverse charge for
Yes.
my
Yeah,
transport.
you can take.
So that is the answer
There will be
as
no
per
issue.
the speaker, that
Yes.
definitely you can take that, because you have to amend your GST registration, I
Yes,
believe.
Yes.
I'm going to amend it.
Yes,
But
yes.
I was under that doubt.
Yes,
Forward
yes.
charge and
Yeah.
reverse charge under one GST number.
Yeah.
That was one
Okay.
of the problems.
I
Okay,
hope
thank
this
you.
has cleared your
Yes,
thing.
very
Yes.
much. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think there is one more doubt. Yes. In the chats, please look at the chats once.
If a
Tankers
person who is
has
having
given some
tankers, the
company for
transport
our
of
GTA.
petrol and diesel has given to some company for transportation. Oh my God. The person who owned tankers has given to some company for transportation of the GTA. Okay. And directly revenue. The person who the person who is owner of the tanker. See, here the owner of the tanker is giving the thing, his vehicles to another person, right? So that person who is taken on the rent, he will be discharging the tax liability, and he is not subject to GST. Who is the owner of the tankers is not liable to GST. The who is the recipient, he is liable to GST, and he has to, what I can say, discharge the tax liability on reverse charge basis. I hope I have answered your query. So yes, I think the name is not available here.
Yes.
Or if you can unmute thing,
Yes,
if you
yes.
have not got the clarity, then you can unmute and you can ask the thing.
Yeah, anybody who has doubt can unmute. I have given the option.
Yeah, please.
Okay. No. Okay, I think it's clear. Otherwise,
Yeah, I hope.
yes, please, you can
Yes.
unmute.
Yeah, Lenovo.
What to do if RCM for financial 24 not paid in financial? Do I need to pay via GSTR?
Yes, via
3B
GST
only.
3B only. With interest, if you have paid, then it is fine. That will be much better with interest. If you're paying from, 18% means 1.5% per month, on which month you have got your RCM supplies, from that you have to pay from the GST 3B. So it will be not covered on the exemption where goods are provided on higher. I didn't get your answer actually. Question, Mr. Yes.
It will in higher there is exemption, na? on hire.
Yes.
So here the person is providing on rent. So this is not
Hmm.
hire, I think.
Yes, that is not hire. That is renting a vehicle, right? So,
Basically, hiring and renting similar terms. That's why there is confusion. Yeah, one more thing. I am not sure. I have came to the suppose I have paid reverse charge of previous month. Suppose now likely June, but I realized that
hmm.
in April there was some reverse charge which I did not pay.
Hmm.
Okay, so 2 3 months liability I should pay. Suppose I am not paying that liability. Okay, I'm thinking that let it be. If department will see, we will take.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
2 3 years later, when department is seeing, they will charge interest for 2 3 months or for 15 20 months.
15-20
No,
months.
no. Why I liability I have already paid, but only interest portion was there.
Okay, interest. Okay, interest portion you have. So then, okay,
Two
you
three
have paid
months,
the
na?
liability, but not the interest. Then only for the 2 to 3 months
Yes, yes.
they'll be
Thank God. We
asking.
have taken such risk.
Because
Okay.
for 15-20 years, the interest means then department
Yes, yes.
will be not able
Exactly.
to make the business.
Very complicated. It is becoming day by day.
See, GST, I think, I mean, maybe with respect to the contents of the chapters or etc., the GST may be very smaller than the income tax. But with respect to complexity, GST is much complexer than the income tax.
Yes.
In the income tax, directly, if we see the section, there will be directly like uh, uh,
Directly loopholes.
directly not loopholes. You can directly get the content directly as per the act, but in the GST there will be much explanations and what I can say, much reading and in-depth analysis should be made make with respect to GST.
And everywhere the client is losing only, I can say. Really.
Yeah.
Services provided by GTO to GTA is exempt through this.
Okay, maybe I'll check once, and if possible I will update in the group. I will just check it and I will update in the group. Sorry for the.
Yes. So anyone having any more doubts? It was really amazing to solve all doubts and yes. Anyone having any more doubts in the chats, you can unmute yourself. Let me ask all to unmute. Yes. Yes, you are already, you can unmute yourself. Okay. No more doubts, I think.
I hope it is a good session from my side
Definitely,
and not
definitely, definitely.
and I have not bored
Every point
you.
single by single you have explained with a few examples where it was needed and doubts a little bit small doubts, but clarity is needed.
Yeah.
We need viewpoints how to see the things. They are very clear
Hmm.
but very complicated because of inclusion of some body corporate, non-body corporate,
Yeah,
individual.
yeah. See, that is
All
the
this
major point. Like we
they
need
are
to
very
check the who is the supplier,
evident.
who is the recipient.
Yes,
Yeah.
but to take out the things, we need the viewpoints. So really, it was an amazing class. Very basic explanation, but doubt session was really, really very good. Okay, so thank
Thank you,
you so
brother.
much. Anyone has any doubt for one last time? We are asking. Nahi? Okay. So waiting for feedback if anybody wants to give because
Yeah, love
the
to
speaker
hear
has taken
if
too much
anyone.
pain to make the PPT and everything. So I hope you like the classes. Anybody who wants to give feedback in the chats or in the groups, please. As per me, it was very amazing and the small things got very, very clear.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
so
much.
much for accepting invitation and for the PPT and everything that you took the efforts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lenovo, for your feedback. Nice class. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you must
Well,
change your
welcome,
name.
sir.
Yes.
Manish Agarwal.
Yeah, I
Yes.
have already shared the PDF in the chat, or else I will share in the WhatsApp group also.
Yes, yes.
Uh, yeah, and thank you, Saheli. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes, PPT we will share in the groups. Those who are not in the groups, anyone is there who is not in the groups, you can please let me know now. I am sharing the link. Okay. We did it just so that everybody can be at one place
Yeah,
and here and there. 1 minute. If anybody is not in the group, they can join the group. Okay. And we will also share the details of the speaker, how you can connect further, those who want to connect. Sir is having good
and
2600 plus followers on LinkedIn, so he's very active also there. So you can connect there and any doubts and all, every sir is ready. Okay, so we'll wind up.
yeah,
Thank you so much, everyone, those
yeah.
who have joined.
Thank you. Thank you
Saturday,
so
but
much. Thank you, brother, for this 100 for this initiative taken by you.
thank you.
It is it is very much appreciated because like on each and every topic that is very much different and unique with respect to every topic. I have been seeing your topics and
Thank you.
covering all over India with respect to speakers is not a small thing. And wishing you all the best and more
Thank
and
you.
more
Thank you so much.
what I can see visitors or participants to your sessions. And amazing, brother, amazing work. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll wind up. Thank you so much on Saturday.
Yep.
Also, you people
Thank you,
joined and
guys.
hope you got the value. Thank you so much. Thank you to the
Have a great weekend. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. We'll
Good
wind up.
night.
Good night.